All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. We are back. The men's Final Four is this weekend. We're going to do game predictions and then a national championship prediction for you guys. We'll start with the Villanova-Kansas game in New Orleans in the Caesars Superdome. It's a 4.5 line for Kansas favorite. I know that multiple of my brackets I had Kansas going to the national championship game, so I'm actually going to go back on my word, though. I think Villanova is hot right now. I think they have beaten the better teams. I mean, Houston
was a good team.
Houston's a really good team. I mean, Arizona's a really good team in that side. So I really feel like Villanova is playing hot right now and such a true blue blood Final Four.
Wasn't Arizona the other number one?
Yes.
Arizona was number one. So Houston actually beat Arizona, but Villanova didn't turn around and beat Houston. So
they essentially beat the number one and number three team.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with Villanova actually upsetting Kansas.
Yeah. Like you're saying, they've been playing hot right now. I hadn't seen them make too many big mistakes, and they've been able to go on some of these scoring streaks, and they haven't committed. Or they can go on the streaks, but they haven't given up the streaks. So, like you're saying, Villanova's hot. Kansas is a solid program. By no means do I count them out of this game. But I agree. I think Villanova wins this game.
Okay.
Rock, chalk, Jayhawk.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Kansas on this one. I think Kansas, they're playing really good as well. I mean, Villanova is a really hot team, but I just think Kansas is going to prevail and pull it out.
Okay. And then the other game, which is super cool to see this matchup. I mean, you never
happened in the tournament at all.
I know
it's never happened,
but it happens for Coach K, right?
In his last
season, so
it's rigged, right?
Yeah, it's rigged.
It might be, honestly. So it's just really cool to see this kind of matchup, this moment for Coach K. I mean, can North Carolina ruin Coach K by beating him? I mean, they beat him in his last game at Cameron, but can they knock him out of the tournament? Can Coach K go through North Carolina to win a national championship to finish off his time?
Illustrious career.
Yeah, and Duke currently the 4-point favorite. So
his Hall of Fame career. Is he? We'll get
to that to a different time. But I'm gonna go out first, and I'm gonna say I do think Duke actually beats North Carolina.
I think Duke takes it too. Duke has been playing really good basketball. They look really good against Arkansas. They look good against Texas Tech. I mean, they were a little shaky against Michigan State, but I mean, they look fantastic against Arkansas. And Arkansas's got a lot of depth, a lot of talent, a lot of big men in the middle of that team. Yeah. And Duke just found a way to get around it and take those 15-foot jumpers and
that mid-range game was on for them.
Oh yeah, I think Duke's got the better talent than North Carolina is, so I think Duke's going to pull this one out.
If Paolo can stay hot like he has been, guaranteed Duke walks away with it. The big man in North Carolina, was it Bocott? How do you say his last?
I'd say
Bocott, how you say it, the forward for North Carolina, has had a hot tournament. Boy's been on fire.
He has been.
If Duke can shut him down and make somebody else beat them, which Duke has talent elsewhere, or not Duke. North Carolina's got talent elsewhere, but I felt like that's where that offense has been running through the big man.
Yeah.
So if Duke can control him and control the inside of the paint, I think they walk away with it.
I just think it's really unique the path that these two teams have taken to get here. I mean, North Carolina they've faced 4 really good teams. Marquette, Baylor, UCLA, and then St. Peter's, obviously. St. Peter's was just kind of on a hot run. But, I mean, UCLA was a Final Four team last year. Baylor won a national championship. Marquette is always
and they let Baylor come back from being 25 down. They had to beat them in double overtime to win that game.
So, I mean, it's just – I think North Carolina's going through a lot of things. But you look on the Duke side, obviously Cal State Fullerton's, not a real strong team. But Michigan State is always a good basketball.
Was that 7 seed though for them this year? Tom Izzo's always tough in March.
Tom Izzo's always tough.
Exactly.
They're always good for at least one win, right?
Yeah, and like you said, they're a 7 seed. Texas Tech is one of the best defenses in the freaking country.
Was Arkansas just stacked with talent?
3 seed in Texas Tech and a 4 seed in
Arkansas. Yeah,
so, I mean,
Arkansas is just stacked with talent.
Yeah, so both these teams have played really, really tough competition to get here. But I'm with Adam. Whoever controls the paint is probably going to be the team that gets the most rebounds, gets the most opportunities, end result. gets the win.
Right.
So, all right. So for me, I got Duke and Villanova.
I'm going to go Duke and Villanova.
And then
Duke
you
and
got
Kansas.
Duke and Kansas. So who's winning it on Monday? We won't be back here before.
No,
Monday,
we
so
won't be
gotta
back.
make a
But
prediction.
I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go Duke. I'm gonna say Coach K's gonna go out on top.
Okay.
And it might make him say, you know what, I'm gonna come back to the league, but he's not gonna come back. He's done. But he's gonna go out on top, winning the Natty.
I agree with that. Duke is going to prevail. Though in my I had Gonzaga winning it all. And then
I think about 90% of the country.
And I had
Gonzaga winning it all.
Arizona winning the other one I did.
Yeah.
I thought those two teams were fantastic throughout the regular season.
Oh, yeah.
But tournament ball, March Madness is always a
Different
different
ball
story.
game, completely different.
And I knew that was going to be a matchup I wanted to see, though, would have been North Carolina and Gonzaga. I thought that would have been a really good matchup.
That's what everybody thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, I really thought that was going to be a good matchup, but
I thought it was going to be Kentucky.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You thought Kentucky was gonna win too.
But
The whole thing.
but Duke,
Yep.
Duke, I think is going to go out on top this year, and it's going to be Coach K's final send off.
I'm going opposite. I do think that Coach K loses, whether it's here against North Carolina or in the national championship game. So I'm going to take Villanova. I think Villanova. They have just looked really, really good, and maybe they're in a weaker side of the bracket, but man, they have looked.
Well,
really,
once you
really
get
good.
down to this stage, though, I don't really think there is a weaker side at this point.
Yeah.
Once you get down to this stage, when you're talking about people that have made it through the first 3 or 4 rounds of this tournament,
Yeah.
I think you're past the weakness.
Yeah. I mean, beat Delaware by 20, beat Ohio State by 10, beat Michigan by 10, beat Houston by 6. I mean, Houston's a really good team too. So Villanova.
It was a low-scoring game, too.
I think they've played enough. So, all right. So that's where you got it. You got a Villanova national champion and then 2 Duke national champions. So let us know in the comments who you think is going to win the Final Four matchups and who ultimately will win the national championship. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe.